Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to reorganize my bookshelves. I just filmed every single book I read in 2024 reviewed in one sentence or less. That's why all of these books are stacked right here. But I feel like that makes it the perfect time to reorganize my bookshelves because half of my books are now sitting on the floor. But I basically have three main areas of my room where I keep books. I keep them on this big shelf that's behind me. And then I have a TBR cart, which I actually just got a brand new TBR cart. I wanted to upgrade it because I just didn't love how hard it was to take hardbacks in and out of my gray old cart. And I also just feel like the gray matched absolutely nothing in my room. So this cart goes with my room so much better. I also love that it gives like a library cart vibes to it. And then I also have three shelves above my dresser, which I mostly put books on. I had some makeup organizers over there, but I took them off. So now I have a lot more room for books over there. And then I actually just put my 25 books I want to read in 2025 on my little table that's right in front of me. I basically just put books anywhere that I can fit them in my room. I'm honestly most excited about setting up my new TBR cart because I got this cart for Christmas and now it's like 10 days into January and I still haven't set it up because I wanted to do it on camera for you all. So I think we're gonna start with that. I actually want to take all of my TBR and I want to reorganize it. I want it to be like a YA section, a fiction section, and then a non-fiction section. I think that's how I'm gonna do it because I don't think I have a ton of non-fiction books on my physical TBR, but I do want to say that this is a non-judgment zone, okay? I've got a lot of books on my physical TBR, okay? This is not normal and I need to probably calm it down with buying the books. I know that. So judgment-free zone here, guys. But let's actually start with that area of my room. Step one is going to be to take all of these books out of my TBR cart and to organize them. I also have a shelf on my bookshelf. That's my physical TBR as well. I know, it's a lot. I'm working on it, I promise. That's gonna be another video though. But I want them all to sit together, so I'm hoping I can fit them all on the TBR cart. Either way, I want to reorganize them because you can see they're kind of actually a disaster. And I just really want all of my physical TBR to sit together. And I want the genres to sit together. So that's what I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna pull them all out and just set them up into stacks. Okay, here's my physical TBR all put out into sections. I've got nonfiction there. These are both just paperback standalones. And then this is hardback standalones. And then these are just all series that I want to make sure I keep together on the book cart. And then you can see my book cart already has books on it. That's because these are all books that I got for Christmas. So I just put them on the cart. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. If I'm gonna keep these on the cart or if I'm gonna put these on my bookshelf because eventually I'm gonna haul all of these books. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. We're gonna see how much space I have to work with. Because also ideally it would be great if I could put this little box on my TBR cart as well as this little picture frame. My sister made this out of all of my grandma's jewelry. I just think it's beautiful, so I really want it on my TBR cart.
Traffic ain't a waste of time. You were there to hold my hand, but I've had it with the 405 since you said I'd missed my last chance. But I know that you've been asking about me. If I tried though to get you back, would you let me? It might take some time to change your mind, but maybe everything we can make it.
My TBR cart is done and organized. I feel like this is the one area of my books that just will always change around because obviously I'm always reading these books, but then also I'm adding to it as well. Unfortunately, I couldn't add the books that I got for Christmas to the cart, so I think I'm gonna put them on the bottom shelf of my bookshelf, but we'll do that when I get to it. But I first wanted to show you how I decided to organize this. I didn't really do anything special until the bottom, this bottom section that you can't even see. This whole section down here, starting from like here on, this whole area is YA. I have a couple more YA sprinkled throughout, but I added these all together. And then I have a bunch of fiction here, literally just not organized at all. I should move this actually. It's funny because I actually want to make YA a priority and yet I put it down at the bottom because I feel like I'm gonna age out of YA. Obviously, I'm gonna age out of YA. But I want to read these before I age out of YA. And then this one's also YA, but the rest of these are just like paperback books. This is all of my nonfiction TBR. I literally only put it right here because I ran out of space. This is that little box, and then I have some series back here, like My Magnolia Parks is back here, that I just couldn't fit anywhere else. And then the first 2 books of Anne of Green Gables is back here as well, but I can see the rest of the series here, so I was like, whatever. These are also YA that I should have put down there, but it's too late now. I'm leaving it how it is. And then up at the top, this bothers me a little bit that I had to put 2 of these books sitting straight out. This would be a reread for me, and then I've always wanted to read Ghost at a Watchman. I just haven't done it. But I literally just have fiction hardbacks here, and then it switches to paperback, and then of course I had to put these here because I ran out of room, which means I need to cool it with the book buying. But I like how this looks right now. Like I said, it's not going to stay like this forever, and I actually think it'll look a little bit better when I have less books on it. Also, if you're wondering what I'm going to do with my old TBR cart, I'm actually going to turn it into like a little workout cart. So I'm going to put like my muscle roller and my yoga mat and a couple of my weights on it, and none of like my heavy weights obviously because I don't want to like dent it or break it or anything, but that's what I'm going to do with that, in case you're wondering. Okay, we're gonna move on to my bookcase, but also I think we're gonna do my big bookcase and the shelves above my dresser at the same time because I have a vision for the shelves above my dresser, but we're just gonna get to it like as I organize the rest of my books. Well, actually, maybe we'll take all of these books out of my bookcase and then we'll do the shelves above my dresser. I feel like that might work the best. I'm gonna do it exactly how I did with my TBR cart, take everything out, organize it by genre, and then we'll go from there.
Took you for a top-down drive, just you and me and an empty road. Maybe I can make it cross your mind.
Okay, here's the situation I'm going right now. All of these books are going to go on my dresser area. These are all classics for the most part, and then I have a couple books in here that aren't classics, but I read them in school, and they have like my annotations in them, so I kind of want to keep them together. And then I've got a historical fiction pile, romance pile, my one Christmas book compared to all of my summer books, plus Summer and Emily Henry, because I feel like they kind of go together. This is just general fiction, a couple fantasies, thrillers. This I think is all YA, and then this is general fiction. Is it? No. These are all together because they're small paperbacks, and my bookshelf is really weird. The first shelf can only have like small paperbacks on it. It can't fit like a tall paperback. That's why those are all together. And then all of my Twilight books. Like I was saying, this bookshelf is so hard to organize. It's definitely very old, so I think it used to actually have glass panels in it because you can see like the little runways. So I think it actually used to be a cabinet for like fine china, but obviously I'm now using it for a bookcase. I think that just like way back in the day it used to be for fine china, so maybe one day it will end up being for that again. But for now I'll use it for books. That means the shelf is too small for like a standard paperback because of this lip right here. I don't know if you can tell, but then this section only fits paperbacks, same as this one. I can't put any hardbacks in here, and then obviously these bottom 2 shelves fit hardbacks, so it makes organizing it a little bit more challenging. Now to organize this section, I'm actually not changing these 2 shelves at all. I obviously just have to put my books back that were in these 2 shelves. So if you've seen these shelves before, they're not changing, but this shelf is going to change because you can see it's like empty. It's kind of a mess. It's not empty, but it is a mess. This is the shelf that I was saying used to have makeup on it.
Go, go, go. Oh, I know that you've been asking about me. If I tried though to get you back, would you let me? Oh, it might take some time to change your mind. Maybe everything we can make it right. Just take me back in your eyes, blinking at me like a caution light. I wonder if you see it. I don't really need a single other reason to make you mine. It might take some time to change your mind.
I think I'm finally done reorganizing all of my books, so I thought I'd give you a little tour. We're gonna start with this area. Up here is pretty much all fantasy books. There's a couple on here that are not fantasy, but I have the Lunar Chronicle series over here, These are just Harry Potter books. And then along with those, I felt like it just made sense to put my Tom Felton book and then my other Harry Potter books. And then I've got the Divine Rivals, Duology, and then Fourth Wing, which as that series grows, it'll go here, and I will put these books on my other bookshelf. This is Where the Crawdads Sing and The Book Thief. So both of these are not fantasy books. And then up here, I've got this pretty old camera, and then this little M that I made, and this pretty gold mirror, which I have no idea where that mirror is from. Bookend, I think might be from Target. And then down here on the second shelf, I have all my Jenny Han books, which these are so nostalgic for me because I loved all of these when I was like in middle school age range. And then I've got this cute little trinket. I have no idea where it's from. And then these are all of my Jane Austen books. I have the beautiful Penguin editions of these. And once I'm done with these, I think I'm going to buy even more of these Penguin classics because I love them so much. But this one is on my current TBR. That's why it's not there. And then moving on down to the last shelf that sits above my dresser, I have mostly YA. So I've got my Divergent series here and then Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Honestly, the only reason I put these here is because I like that they have this little container thing surrounding them because they're right in front of the window and I kind of feel like they're protected from the sun in these little cardboard boxes. And then over here I have my new Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. My mom got me this for Christmas, so I wanted it on display. And then this is an old vintage camera. It's a film camera. This is a little jewelry box that used to be my grandma's, so I just put it here because I thought it was cute. And then on my actual dresser, I have some leather-bound books. I haven't read any of these except for Dante. I read that one, but I do eventually want to read these, but right now they're just on there because they're pretty. And then I showed you this earlier. I think I'm going to make this into a video, so you should have probably already seen this video, but these are all of my 2025 TBR. It's 25 books. This isn't 25 books, but some of them are like on Libby or I just don't own physical copies. Now to the showstopper, my actual bookcase. I'm not super obsessed with all of these shelves on my bookcase, but this will do for now. So this top shelf, I have just this little vintage phone. I just love the color of it. And then this is actually a cookbook. I just have it flipped the other way because I don't actually know why. And then I've got all of my Sarah J Maas. This spot right here is where I put my books after I finish them for the month. So I haven't finished a single physical book this month. I've been reading a lot on my phone. But once I do, I'll put them here. That's why that space is there. But I literally cannot have a single blank space on my shelf or my cat will try to climb my bookshelves and wake me up in the middle of the night, which is why a lot of these shelves are set up the way they are. But over here I have all of my nonfiction. I don't have a ton of nonfiction as you can tell, but that's where it lives. I also have a random friend's cookbook right there because I wanted it to be with Matthew Perry book. But that is all the nonfiction that I've read that I own physical copies of. And then moving down, I told you earlier this shelf is hard because I can't fit a lot of paperbacks onto this shelf just height wise. So these are all of my short paperbacks lined up here to the side. And then I put out because of Winn-Dixie. I don't really know why I chose this one, but I really like the cover of this one. And also this is just a nostalgic book for me. And then I've got this little clock that used to sit on my dresser, but I didn't love it over there, so I brought it over here. And I like how it looks next to all my Twilight books. I put these here because I don't really reach for the Twilight books that often, if ever, to be honest. And then I've got these two little rubber duckies. And eventually, once I get any type of like cowboy romance book, I want to put this stuff right next to those, but it's just gonna live here for now. And then this shelf is a bit more random. It's actually pretty random. I've got Big Little Lies, Nerve, and then two books that have bees in the title. So I've got The Secret Life of Bees and Little Bee. And literally the only reason I put these two books together, along with the Magnolia Park series, is this little bee shell that my sister made me. I just think it's so cute and I wanted them all to go together. And like I said, I put Magnolia Parks here because of the bee. Also because it gives me room to grow. As the series grows, I think there's one book left. And as I read through the series, they can be put up here. But for now, that lives there. And then this is my TBR jar. I don't use it a ton because I don't make a ton of TBR videos, but when I do, that will be there for when I need it. And then these are all YA, or at least I read them when I was that age. So Everything, Milk and Honey, which is poetry, Challenger Deep, which I used to love that book so much. I actually reread it a couple years ago and it's great. It's a really good book. It talks about a lot of mental health, and then just two other YA books there as well. And then this shelf might be one of my favorite shelves because it's full, but also because it's all of my like summery happy books. So on this side, these are literally just all summer romances that are hardback because they can't sit up like this. I have to like put them like this. So that's why they're like that. And then this clock, I have no idea where it's from, but I decided to put it there to fill the space so my cat doesn't jump on it and knock my books down. And then I have Ellen Hildebrand, which before none of these were together and they weren't in the right order. So I'm very happy that these are together and this series is in the right order. And then I have an Emily Henry and then my 2 Christina Lawrence. And I decided to put out 7 Year Slip like this because that was literally my favorite book of 2023. And I'm still obsessed with this book. I think about this book often. And these are 2 books that I honestly don't know if I'm gonna keep them. I think they actually may be my sisters because I just have no emotional attachment to them. It's Me Before You and Where She Went, which Where She Went I think is the second book of the series, and I don't even own the first book anymore, so I don't really know. This shelf is again kind of random. I've got a couple Christmassy books here. This whole pile I actually want to donate them. I think I'm gonna go to a Free Little Library and bring them to a Free Little Library. I just haven't done it yet, so they're just sitting there for now. They're gonna get rehomed soon. Kristen Hanna's The Nightingale is Spaced Out because that was my favorite book of 2024, so last year. And the Maze Runner is here because like I said, I'm getting rid of these. So once I finish this series, it can live right here. And then I've got a couple thrillers. These are 2 thrillers that I really liked this past year. The Silent Patient, and then I have Six of Crows and Phantasma together because those are the only paperback fantasies I have. And then I put this little guy right next to them. I got this for Christmas a while ago, but it's a dragon with a crown on it, or I think it's a dragon, but it just reminds me of fantasy books, so I thought that would be cute for them to live together. And then over here, I don't know why I still have this European history textbook. I put it there forever ago and it has not moved. This is literally from high school, so I need to get rid of it actually. Over here I've got kind of random books. I've got my Bible, my journal, a nonfiction book that I'm currently reading, and then another religious book I'm currently reading. And then this is just a word search, which I do these kind of randomly when I'm bored. So that lives there for easy access. This little container I got from Target a while ago. And originally it had cute little hearts in it, which I'll probably do that once Valentine's Day gets a little bit closer as like decor. But for now it has all of my smaller sticky notes. I don't annotate very often, but sometimes I use tabs. And then these are all books I got recently. So these are the only books on my shelf that I have not read. Also, that reminds me, the only reason I'm getting rid of these is because I don't like to have books on my shelf that I don't like. So I got rid of a bunch of books recently. I didn't put it in this video just because I was going to the bookstore already and I wanted to drop them off, and I did that already. Anyways, I got sidetracked, but I have the entire Shatter Me series. I got this for Christmas along with the Inheritance Games series, which both of these series and the Naturals series, I plan on doing reading vlogs of both of these series. I love doing reading vlogs of popular series, so be on the lookout for those. Let me know which one you want to see first, and if you think I should read the Naturals before the Inheritance Games. I don't think it matters because they're just separate series, but let me know if you think that there's a certain order I should do that in. And then I actually recently got this used edition of Wicked, but I'm obsessed with it. It's like a leather bound copy with the sprayed edges. Obsessed. I'm obsessed with leather bound books, as you can probably tell. So anytime I see a leather bound book, I'm gonna pick it up, specifically like at a thrift store. Because most of my books I don't buy them new. But then I have A Man Called Ove and The Bell Jar. And that is it for this video. I hope you all liked it. I'm so happy how everything turned out. Specifically my book cart, because I'm just obsessed. I think it goes with the rest of my room so much better than the gray one did. Plus it's bigger, which means more room for books, which I love. But thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!